reaches 100 degrees and over Fahrenheit, don't you just love it when the skies bless you with clouds and rain?
Hello everyone, it's me, Josh Kuj, your local grocery store VTuber, coming live at you on a Thursday night. It's currently 8 p.m. where I am. Tonight, we're going to be playing more Tavern Talk. Forgot the name. Hello there, Aki. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. How are you? Hello. Where last we left off in this game, if I remember correctly, we had sent Jade out. Jade took the quest for whatever his name is now. John. Is his name John? No, his name is not John. Dave. She took the quest for Dave to potentially kill his parents because he just found out that his parents were alive and that didn't fit his backstory of his edginess, you know, his edgy backstory. So his solution in his head was to just do away with his parents to make it fit. We send Jade out there and we help them reconcile, kind of, you know, like starting the path of reconciliation. Dave was convinced that his parents had abandoned him, but it turns out there's some sort of there's still some story there. More than likely, they didn't know that he was alive this whole time and might have been forced to just move on with their lives thinking that Dave was dead. But they're together now. So there's that for them to pretty much talk it out. Good for them. You just had a shepherd's pie and played D&D, so you're good about this play Scarlet Hollow. Hope your day wasn't too bad. It was good for me. Work wasn't so bad. Shepherd's pie though. Oh, I love that. Is it actual shepherd's pie or is it cottage pie? Because of the difference of whether or not it's sheep. Is it sheep meat? Either way, I freaking love shepherd's pie or cottage pie. Either one. It's great. And good to hear that you played some nice D&D as well. Okay, so after that, what had happened after that? I actually don't remember. Let's see if we can't glean what may or may not have happened. Oh yeah, Mellie's back. Mellie's back. She just turned up out of nowhere. So we send Iniko, Voy, and what's his name? The mage, the half-elf. Hex. Hex went over to the Wizard's Tower that was mentioned before that may or may not have some secret magic or knowledge available. I think he's trying to find a way to maybe extend his sister's life because she, of course, inherited the human side of their half-elf lifespan. So she is aging rapidly, or not rapidly, normally for a human. And he has the elven lifespan. So I think he is trying to find a way to either give her that long lifespan or extend it or maybe slow it down, like that kind of thing. Now, ground beef, you're going to keep it shepherd's pie though. That's okay. Anywho, you'll be watching in the background while you game. I pop in later. Have fun, my dude. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great look and have a fun gaming. So yes, he went over to the Wizard's Tower. Iniko and Voy went with him to help him out and maybe grab some treasure while they're there. And in the meantime, Melly just showed up. Turns out she was just investigating the flood. She made her way. She was a stowaway on their mission, so she ended up being there as well, near the tower. I don't think she went inside, but she was there. She was safe the whole time. Good. Which means that Fable is still somewhere looking for her. And we don't know where Fable is. Fable could be anywhere. Hopefully they're safe. But at the moment, we don't know where they are. Any other updates? I actually don't remember anything else. I think that's everything that happened. Because that's what I remember. Jade went out on that quest to confront Dave's parents, we sent Hex out on a quest to try and get the secrets of the Wizard's Tower. Melly showed up again, and that's everything. Of course, Melly and Dave already had a reunion. And you know, Dave actually confesses that he cares quite a lot for Melly. You know, thinks of her as family. So there's that. And that brings us to where we are right now, which is Alithia and you, Clay. We sent them out on a quest a long time ago in order to find the archives, the Maiden archives. So hopefully, considering that was streams ago, maybe 2 or 3 ago, I hope I gave them the correct drink and buff in order for their mission to succeed. Because I am not going to go back there. That was too long ago. So I don't remember what I gave them. No, I think I gave them charisma or something like that, because Clay wanted to maybe talk to the shadow beings or whatever is in there. Dark Stalkers, I think they were called. So hopefully their mission went correctly. I think they said something about the flood happening near the area that they were in, or like, you know, instigated by whatever happened there. So I don't know. I think the flood would have happened regardless. And I don't remember how they spoke. Welcome back. It's good to see you both again. It's good to see you both again.
Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster.
Oh, no. Did I mess up? I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. She really does. As do you, Clay. Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks. They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight in your disaster? That'd be great. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered. Yeah, that one. Coming right up. Strong. Yeah. Southern Brawler. One. That was the voice I gave him, right? I swear. Because I thought he was gonna be Dumb Brute, but he's Gentle Giant. So I guess it doesn't really matter. I think both. I think that voice fits both. Or, I don't even know how I could deepen that. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How are the archives? Fun. Were they? It could be a she saw it as a failure, but it might have actually gone well, considering Clay is in a good mood. Clay seems to be the more emotionally, what do you call? Emotionally not out there. What's the word? You know, you could see how he feels. Like that kind of thing. It's clear the mood when you look at him. Were they?
Mayhaps. The Bleak Stalkers were...
Oh, Bleak Stalkers. I thought they were called Dark Stalkers, but I think that is the game with Morrigan. That one, you know, the character. With the bat wings. Green hair? Yeah. Bleak?
Cute.
Oh, okay. Oh, that must mean that the charisma drink that I gave them helped them talk to the Bleak Stalkers. And it turns out they're not that bad. Very. Jade told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found us surrounded by Bleak Stalkers.
They were quite numerous. And so shaped.
I decided to ask them if they could help us through.
And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called in your honey flowers and extended my divine light to him. Made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know that they have velvet wings they can fold into their bodies?
I didn't. That's fascinating. They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first, they thought it'd involve eating people.
I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things.
But not that great at understanding things. I don't need to insult the guy. I think he really understands people. And that helps him meet them where they're at. I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful.
I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay.
Thank you. But you've got your own strengths. Like how you're a master of strategy, or how you're so good at making people feel safe.
I suppose we make a great team.
The best, I might say. We made a great team with the Bleak Stalkers, too. They led us right inside the archives, which were huge.
Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue after all.
Oh shit, that's right. The barbecue. And Fable is missing.
That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist's hall, the creatures excitedly led us to. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters as a gift for them.
To them. They loved them.
Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers.
A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you.
That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way they would always sense in which direction the other person was located.
Oh, now you're bound together forever. That is pretty much marriage right there. You made it so that your friendship bracelets reacted to each other and you always know where they are. You know what that means? You're married. Congratulations.
So neither of us would get lost.
It was so smart.
It was. It was very useful.
I see you kept yours on.
I did.
They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through the rocks. I taught the bleat stalkers how to water them. They loved drinking out of the watering can. They also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon.
What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing.
But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like, forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we could find any information about the archivist, which may or may not be Scully, actually, who is currently on a quest with, Carolyn, to deal with some undead. I bet they knew some great drinking games.
Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind.
Why not both? They should be people first, symbol second.
Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay.
What else did you find in the archives? Besides friends and the beauty of horrors of time. I mean, beauty and horrors of time. I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me towards the cooking section. It was so fast. I found an ancient potato soup recipe. I can't wait to try it out.
I can't wait for that one either.
I also found something for you. For me? Yeah, a recipe from a book on mixology. First I thought about taking the whole thing along, but It was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers were so attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting.
We thought it would fit your repertoire.
I think it does. Thank you very much. The Last Whisper. The Last Whisper stealths itself into your heart, provides a boost to strength and speed, and has a tough, if somewhat bitter, aftertaste that will awaken your senses. Sometimes all you need is the right balance between elegance and brute force, and the correct translation of an ancient recipe. Otherwise, you might be taking your last whisper.
As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. It was a complete mess, full of scripture, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting.
Okay, the music went away. I thought something had crashed. No, it just paused. Or it switched to a new song.
And worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of an apocalypse. The end of it all. There was research on the roots on the ether tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands and fading ink.
Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research?
Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy.
Do you know a lot about the Aether Tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it, in it, around it, somewhere.
In it, mostly. In it?
Depends on who you ask. The dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe. But definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would be hurt if something happened to everyone's home. That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the ether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. The dragons defend it, despite their oath of neutrality. There are no easy foes. The dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, there are no easy foes.
There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest.
Alcest? Alcest. Give me 1 second. The what now?
The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the ether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight.
Are they some sort of spell?
More of a manual to the self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can the cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments.
That's reassuring.
Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others. Written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in language that I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls.
That sounds unsettlingly familiar. AKA the, what do you call? Starfall. The whole incident with the whale, where they met each other.
I fear that the starfall broke a sigil, by ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings that destabilize her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the Twilight Chasm in ways never seen before.
So that's true. 2 broken sigils. It's not that big of a deal. That's not good. 1 is more than a problem. If one could be broken, it stands to reason that the others could be broken. To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights.
It's not 2, it's 3.
3?
Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names are outdated, but the intentions were clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil.
Bad, right? Very.
Who could have done this? I don't know. And why of all things? Who could have done this? I don't know. And what?
How do you say that? Who could have done this? I don't know. And why of all things? Sure.
If the Ether 3 collapsed,
3?
If the Ether tree collapsed, or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all.
Who would want that? No one thinking rationally. These all could be natural occurrences. No, someone's causing them. It's not that they're not thinking rationally. It's they're very focused on actually doing this. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we could talk them out of it?
I doubt it.
Me too. Me too.
Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left.
Or it would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse?
They do.
I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse.
Maybe they're all connected, and waking Ur will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible.
Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct?
It's not exactly impossible. One can make the spirit dragon via the Astral Sea at the dawn of the dying moon.
That's in 5 days, right?
Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portal Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world.
The rest of them are half as stubborn as you are. I think we're well protected.
Exactly.
That's good then. The rest is worse. Sigil. Oh, we have new info. On Clay. Even a big guy like him needs a bit of encouragement and positive reinforcement sometimes. I think he and Miss Anwar are definitely a good team. They even have matching friendship bracelets. Now they just have to wear them. Clay also loves good food and would never want to miss a delicious barbecue. To reach Tuat, one has to go through a number of overly complicated rituals. Good thing no cleric would ever aid in something like that. That's good then. The rest is worse.
What's bad is we don't know who's behind this. Or why, by the dragons and endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile.
I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition.
I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that can keep my mind intact, defended from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad.
Say no more. More likely the, what do you call? Frosted Lagoon? Yeah. Let's see if I remember it this time. Definitely that. But I think it's one of this and one of these. Nope. I think I made that mistake before. I wonder what it was. Like that. Hey! Here you go. Delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots.
Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather.
You know what else would make for a great breather?
Fable's barbecue?
Exactly.
You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Finding Melina. But we just saw Melly on the way here.
Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them?
I didn't. They stormed off. None. Uh-oh. Maybe we should go look for them.
Maybe so.
Please do. Kinda need to find them. But should I leave that up to, Fable to decide to come back? They went on their own, of their own volition. So, I feel like I would still want someone to find them. No one has seen them in days. The last thing I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay to last. Please, help me find them.
Of course. I'm sure they would slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt.
But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it.
Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece.
The one? Hey, it's Kyle. It's been a while.
A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper.
I don't serve cake. Never have. Oh, but what is that behind your tuchus? That is the cake that I am looking for.
Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be.
Also, still no blood. Also, where did you... Wait. I thought that slime washed away a long time ago. No, I'm thinking of Rhea. I guess Kyle never got rid of his slime.
Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389.
Oh?
I had run out of glitter.
I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache.
That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today.
I'll see what I can do. Is that what he sounded like? I think so. Some sort of... I think it was almost Teddy. You want the Southern Brawler. Oh, just like that. Sometimes I have voices that... Sorry, sounds that get me into voices. And I feel like for Kyle, it's literally just... Oh! Like that. Might I believe this? Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Okay. With all the strength of a raging fire. That was off key. Mysterious as the dark side of... I'm just gonna cock block you there.
Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria.
Any particular reason for your shopping trip?
A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as comfort food immediately.
Do you know what comfort food is?
I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it.
What happened to her? Sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. Oh no, she's fine. I think she's just focused on trying to win this competition that she's in. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. Year? I think he's exaggerating. I don't think he knows the passage of time. He's immortal, as far as I know. He's may or may not be immortal. Because I was about to say, a year? Has it really been that long since we last saw Rhea? No way. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate! And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous! Though something tells me you should go give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Call it intuition. Not that he's gonna know what that means. I don't think intuition is a very good name, innkeeper. Wanna help me find a better one? Of course. I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up. Thank you. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I had thought that we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. Are you sure you're talking about chicken? And not just a cat? That would be funny because he's a friend to all animals. It'd be funny if he didn't even know what they were. Or that he kept like mistaking one for another. What charming creatures! The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg. The egg. The chicken. The chicken came from what would come from years and years of evolution. And one day, instead of being what it used to be, it hatched as a chicken. So the egg came before the chicken. Sure. We'll go with that theory. The egg. She's gonna say chicken. I thought it was chicken. Not going to weigh in? I'm intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. Inner thoughts. Fuck, I thought it was chicken. But unlike this solved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I've strived towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. New info. Her bravery verges on obsession, but maybe it's just a stroke her own ego. She presumably has never taken a break in her whole life, and probably never will. Let's just hope her tendencies to overwork herself won't get the best of her. Lately, she seems to be warming up to the thoughts of relying on others.
Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood from the dragons. The scholar offered it up to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth.
I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. What? What board game? That doesn't sound familiar to me. Clue? Why would it be Clue?
Oh, you're right. So then, Mike was real after all?
Mike?
Mike? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the famous Mikhail. But most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon in his domain.
Oh no. Someone has a connection to the spirit dragon. Wait a minute. If I remember correctly, Evelyn, his ex-wife, the countess in the castle where we stole the cloak from, I think she had a vial of Mike's blood or something like that. Something of Mike's was in that castle. And I think that may be the key to getting access to the spirit realm. To the spirit dragon.
Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever.
But that didn't work out, I guess.
Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be quite the trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to blade.
The blade.
Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the spirit dragon and his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge?
Why do I get the feeling that Kyle's name is Mike? And that's, like Alphonse, he has a lot of names, but who's to say that's even his name? What if his name was Mike the whole time? Maybe he's the first vampire.
The knowledge you just told us about. I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the local day at the local bookstore.
I bought the other day. Nope, that was the vampire romance book Lynn recommended to you. Try again.
But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrates tales until the intruder stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor Mike so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well.
I'm sure we could help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between new friends.
If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Merrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh. If only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls.
Oh, that's the shady person. We haven't heard from them in a while. And I'm pretty sure they're the ones who gave me that letter. And maybe caused a tsunami, and maybe caused a starfall, and is the one breaking the sigils. Trying to undo the world tree. The ether tree.
As it was, only rubble remained. My dear Evelyn, my pookie wookie. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed?
We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin.
My Evelyn. What horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponents suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food.
Let's give him some time to come to terms with let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. You stayed here for that long and you were crying for that long? I'm kidding. Hello, welcome back. Greetings, brave adventurers. Have you seen Fable anywhere?
Great morrow, innkeeper.
There seems to be a few more bones than usual with you, Scully. Is there? No? Wait, what? What do you mean, more bones?
You observe correctly, my friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they? Sure are.
Care to bring me up to speed, Lynn? That explains woefully little, Scully.
Nah, just survive being left hanging for a few more minutes.
You're bullying me. You're bullying your innkeeper, Lynn.
Patience, young innkeep.
Are you older than me? No, you're not older than me.
Scully has been waiting to tell you this story since we left the Pale Woods. I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles.
Rhetorical.
Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Hang on. I think I could go for one of your drinks first.
That can be arranged.
Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net you a story.
No pressure, Lynn. You would like the ability of that. Let's give you a different drink. I'm gonna give you the cursed coffee. I mean, that would be good for her. Isn't like that's what she wants. Let's give her the sailor's courage. Sure, why not? We'll go with this one. 1, 2. I think it's one of these. And maybe that. There you go. Sailor's courage. You like that? It's got abs. Great drink for a great story.
Aren't you lucky?
I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it.
Perhaps not.
I might have something else to cheer you up.
Oh?
Melly's back.
Oh!
Relieved?
Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. She alright?
Melly is everyone's daughter/little sister. Despite his short and often fragmented memory, he has extensive knowledge of the origins of all vampires, which could be expected when you're a vampire yourself, I suppose. Even though he still seems to be caught up in his long-lost marriage, he really took a liking to the person who dug him up. Rhea? Rhea was the one who dug him up, I think. Who would have thought that such a fearless warrior never learned how to swim? I'm sure her newly found family will teach her. Eventually. Seems like the lone wolf is not so lonely after all. Lynn definitely lives up to her Baba's heritage, even if she herself doesn't see it yet. Yeah, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you.
Who the hell is Dave?
Yeah.
Who?
You know them.
Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. You better have apologized to Melly or else.
You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long.
Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then?
No.
Sure are taking their time.
Feel like looking for them yet?
No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin.
You had some to begin with?
You're pretty chatty for someone within great sword distance.
Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully?
With an offer like that, my friend, how could a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice.
Aura. Charisma. I can aura max you, sure. Let's give you... the Sunny Breeze. I'm just doing this because I don't want to keep making the same drink over and over again. I just wanted to switch it up a bit, that's all. So 3 of that, and I think 1 of this. Here you go. Please enjoy.
Oh my!
I'll give you 1 second.
They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again.
A pleasure to be of service.
Our quest was confusing.
Inspiring.
My favorite flavor of quest.
Not enough fighting, in my opinion. Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here.
But the most important muscle of all received a superb workout. The brain. Metaphorically for me, of course.
I've been wondering about that, actually.
No. We're not even gonna get started on that topic.
What, does he have a brain? Probably not.
I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted. Though I would be delighted to share my theories with you, Innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare, or 5. Now back to the task at hand.
We started by making our way westward, though our progress was slow.
Any complications?
Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Fizoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions. The flood that ruined a lot of crops. And now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north.
So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time, we'd gotten so far off course it took us a whole day just to get back on track. On foot.
But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danica.
That was nice, I guess.
The cousin with the undead snail problem, yeah? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her?
Sure did. We just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops and...
With one magnificent strike. Truly a sight to behold.
It was just some undead snails. No need to have gotten so excited.
To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails.
Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts. Okay. Saying what he learned from the snails is better than any finger sandwiches, finger food.
Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action. despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize.
And you couldn't help but relate?
In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge.
And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine.
Truly, Innkeeper, you have a way with words.
Just lots of experience.
Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament.
Her name's Lieselot. Lieselot.
Lieselot? Lieselot.
I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What a magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar.
So he was there too. Probably either on his way to Morrow Castle or after that. Or maybe just a different time altogether.
Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lieselot valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathe.
What he means is, it stunk. Real bad. We left Lieselot there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do.
And forth we ventured.
Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explained the smell.
For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much.
Yeah, you don't have a nose. Yo. Most respectfully, you don't have a nose.
Oh, of course.
Anyway.
There was a veritable horde before us. An army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest.
One gnawed tree at a time.
They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true.
I was itching to tear into him. But remembering the plan, I stepped back, with a hand on my greatsword.
A crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind. And so we observed.
Breathe. I breathe. Howdy there, Cafe. Welcome to the Sheen. Thank you for stopping by. How are you? Hello. How are you? How have you been? Thank you for the heat, Pia.
The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling about senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. A representative. That simplified things considerably. My first course of action was clear. I let Dame Carolyn know my intentions.
Good, good. Just busy with work. How are you? Doing good. It's been very hot recently, even reaching up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit for me. But thankfully tonight, there is clouds and even rain, so it's not as hot. And I'm very thankful. I hope it keeps up. Because it's been a reprieve, an oasis, you might say. It's been so dang hot. Last stream I was only in my underwear.
I let Dame Carolyn know my intentions.
Seemed reasonable enough.
Good to know. That's crazy hot. Yeah. It's shucks. And it's only the beginning of summer too, which means it's either gonna get hotter or it's gonna be that hot for a long time. And so I'm not looking forward to that. Not at all. I hope it stays raining. A whole summer of rain. It's gonna suck for all the kids in summer vacation, but it would be nice for me. So much pain. But hope you've been well. Hope work lets up for you.
Seemed reasonable enough.
While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition.
I suppose they were not open and respectful in return?
No. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Scully's arm.
Agony is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent drink mixing skills.
Also, who's to say that you could feel pain? Can you? Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients under quest.
My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent. Maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact. The leader recoiled immediately. All the others surrounding us froze. The leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Curiously, where they regained composure, their expression was filled with joy.
Still no idea how you can read an expression on a skull.
They were actually quite expressive for a skeleton.
Skeletons definitely do have expressions. They mostly express themselves through vibes, I would imagine. It's not like there are any muscles to flex in their face that show any kind of emotion. Unless they're very squishy skeletons.
It sounds like more of your usual. But this time I'm almost willing to believe you.
Excuse me, but what exactly are vibes, my friends?
You know, vibes.
Have fun explaining that one.
I guess you could think of them as some kind of aura that someone gives off.
Fascinating. That sounds quite powerful. Could one harvest them like magic?
Let's get back to the story.
The teeth shattering was quite worrying. It made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Peculiarly, the bite marks here were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest.
Which means?
All those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly poor condition.
Were they using the trees as a way to like not, you know, kind of like how some animals with like hooves or horns, maybe they find a way to file them down so that they don't like overgrow and all that? Is that what they were doing? They were gnawing on the trees because they were trying to fix their teeth or something?
And looking at their behavior, that seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported their issue to the necromancer. It was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective.
That got him really heated. They tried to rip Scully apart again.
But Dame Carolyn skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. It turns out, they didn't even have dental.
Wow, no benefits at all, no dental? I bet they don't even have an eye doctor. I bet their insurance, their necromancer insurance, doesn't even cover glasses. Carolyn?
I'm at Scully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me. I may be a mercenary, but even I have dental.
It's a scam, that's what it is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO.
They don't want to hear it.
Hi there, IE Oten. Welcome to stream. Thank you for stop by. Hello, ow.
Hello? Hello?
They didn't want to hear it.
We're doing what we love. We don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. They couldn't even take proper chomp out of the tree's outer bark anymore. What would happen when their teeth deteriorated even further? Their necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat.
That was when Scully really got to him, I think.
The words were just pouring out of my mouth and I was elated they were the right ones.
The light reflected on the frost armor really dazzled them too.
Any skeleton worth their calcium would be able to acquire such armor.
Back for a brief second, what'd I miss? What did you miss? We found out the origins of vampires in this world. And it's that someone got tricked by a dragon to give them long life. But instead of, just giving them long life and that being the end of it, no, they turned them into a vampire. The first vampire. And then these two came back for the quest from dealing with the undead.
They needn't be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. My apologies.
Can you be a vampire next? Depends. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do it with the regular old bites to the neck, turn you into a vampire? Or maybe you want to do the Cirque du Freak, you just like blood them, You do the thing where they do the fingernails into your fingers. Dragon way? What's the dragon way of turning into... Oh, you want to just be turned into a vampire like that. Monkey's paw. Dragon's paw? Essentially. The dragon was a trickster. Should have expected that.
My apologies. It appears I somewhat lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering in Giver.
Would the monkey paw be able to turn someone into something? Wouldn't? I always assumed that the monkey paw kind of thing would just be able to grant any wish, but just, like give it a bad side effect. I didn't think that there was a limitation to the monkey's paw. I guess I don't really know the lore behind the monkey's paw. I just know that it's one of those things where it's like, be careful what you wish for. Like, would the monkey paw allow you to transform into an animal? How would you phrase your wish though? I want to turn into an animal. Then it would just turn you into any animal, at random. You could be a freaking flea, I guess. You wish to be rich, and it would turn you into a steak rich with flavor. It would give you great marbling. It wouldn't even turn you into a steak. It would just make your meat marbled. And that's it. Like, you're still alive, it's just that you're meat. If someone were to eat you, it would just be very good. Be very rich. Like Wagyu in human form. That's all.
You might soon be contracted to host the first UFU gathering in Giver.
Union for the Undead.
UFU 1755. Never forget your roots.
You're welcome to visit anytime.
I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually.
They're headed for the Necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle.
They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the hallux that broke off of one of them when they attacked Dame Carolyn. Their leader gave me the teeth we couldn't put back into their skull. Oh, and this eyeball. I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in a peaceful manner.
Can't deny your resolution was pretty effective.
Good to know you're both happy with how it ended. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons.
Oh, but we did get you something else as well, Innkeeper.
Right. Here.
A bone.
The trees look really chewed on, and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving.
The thought about that, this one, wishing for immortality, but your life turns into the movie Groundhog Day. Oof, ouch. That would suck. And in this case, there might not be a way to, you know, like turn it back. I think you might be stuck in that sort of situation. What about wishing for immortality? So they make it so that you perceive the world very slowly. Like almost still. But you're still conscious. It's just that you perceive everything very slowly. A blink would take 1,000,000 years to even begin moving your eyelids.
They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set aside to make Fable a drink when they're back.
Sounds fair.
Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake. Because they were so glad we stopped all that gnawing.
Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my hat. So we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories whenever we visit.
You know, I'm pretty sure that's a DC Flash comic about that, where he did that to one of his villains. I know that in one of the movies, Reverse Flash is pretty much living the last second of his life. And he's just trying to find a way to get out of going to hell. And that was it. It's also the ability of Gold Experience, which they showed only once. And never again, because it was too OP to even think about. Gold Experience can make you just like... It makes you feel that. That one. For eternity. Not eternity. But it really slows down your perception. Yeah, the Suicide Squad movie. Suicide Squad movie. Yeah. It was the Reverse Flash from the same movie as the Flashpoint movie. Where after Thomas Wayne, the Batman of that world, had shot him in the head, he decided to just like prolong his death by drawing the Speed Force into himself. And then that's why he's alive during that part. Quote unquote alive. The whole universe. You love the Flashpoint movie. It was pretty good. I heard it wasn't as good as the comic runs. But I enjoyed it. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much. And we don't talk about the Flash movie either, which is technically Flashpoint as well, just not in a fun way.
Scully, you ever thought about becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I could usually stand him, but you seem to really care about all this.
Oh no, I am but a mere heap of bones here to learn all I can. But it is a gentleman's way to speak out when evil is committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I will stop doing just that anytime soon.
Sounds good to me.
I've been wondering for a while, why is there a... Is that supposed to be like Una's? I know Una's missing an arm and sometimes has attachments to her prosthetic. Is that hers? I think it might be hers. True, but trying to condense an entire comic line into an 1.5-hour long movie is always going to come with caveats. I appreciate it for what it is. I wanted to see more Martha Wayne Joker. That's all.
No idea. We didn't ask.
Sorry, what was the question beforehand? I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there.
No idea. We didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be headed north before we talked to him.
Maybe they were searching for something. Maybe they were searching for more trees.
The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Vizoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren.
Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached?
You don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer?
I don't think farmers wear armor like that. I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described.
Oh, if I had known that dastardly negligent necromancer they were, I would have never offered that greeting.
Fuck. Sorry. There you go.
Just realizing where they could have been headed. It's true that there aren't any many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods.
But there is the... Oh, I was about to say the forest where... What's her name? Fable is from. The Sacred Grove. Something like that. Is that what it's called? The Ashen Grove.
But that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undead. There might be tons more headed there even now.
Fuck, indeed.
Just to clarify, you believe the hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital?
What was that? These undead can't seem to get enough fiber. What better tree to chomp down than that of the ether tree itself? What could possibly go wrong? The best quality psyllium husk powder.
Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're headed towards Themis, to nod at the divine roots, as if to...
Fell the ether tree?
Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the ether tree. The starfall, the primordial flood, even the interplanar portals. It's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No? No?
Oh my, that's awful.
And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either.
Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the gentleman you greeted outside of the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer?
He certainly bore the armor of one.
Really, whenever I think of necromancer, I think robe rather than armor. Is that how necromancers usually are? I thought they were more magic-y instead of big armor, beefy person. Or is it like dark armor? Dark magical armor.
Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone?
Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes.
Necromancers can be anything? Oh really? I thought it was, you know, school of magic. I thought you had to be squishy in order to be a necromancer. So you can just be a necromancer and still be beefy? Huh. Kind of. I don't know how to think about that. Wow, guys, we're stereotyping necromancers now. Be better. You're right. You're right. It's 2026. Who am I to say that? How dare I? This isn't what D&D died for. It's dead? No, it's not. Can't be.
Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures.
Indeed they do.
Necromancers can't be buff? Tell that to Sangngg. Is that... Wait, what? What? That's the person from solo leveling, right? I didn't know they could do that. What the hell? I thought he was just like a gamer. Isn't that what solo leveling is? It's like turning into a gamer. Actually, I have no idea. I've never read or watched solo leveling. I just know the name Sangngg. Is that where the what was that phrase that I kept hearing? Is that when he's like arise or something like that? I just know that because I saw Alex Lee say it in like bloopers. And he just goes like, wakey wakey.
So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it?
Well, I admit at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are already my memories, have been getting clearer lately.
You don't even like solo leveling, but yeah, he's a buff necromancer. That's why he says arise. He's talking to his undeads, basically. Huh. Of all the things I could have thought solo leveling was about, I did not think that. I thought it was like, I don't know. What does solo leveling mean? Is it a video game? Is it a game? A tournament?
Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom.
And they were just there.
The Everbloom? Did you encounter any bleak stalkers?
Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of my old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Fizoa?
No. What are intellect wombats?
Priorities, Tia. Scott. It made me think of, I remember when I watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie, you know, the one with Chris Pine and all that. There was a moment where they went, what was it called, the Underdark or something like that, and there were those creatures that fed on intelligence, but they just passed by the whole group because they were all stupid. It was like something like that. Some sort of creature that eats like people with high intelligence or something like that. But then while they were like, they just passed by the whole group because everyone in that group was stupid. In a world where you're born with a certain power, amount of power, and that's just your potential, he gains the ability to level up, which is just not a thing in that universe. He got super strong, but then becomes a necromancer. So instead of fighting teammates, he just revives his former foes as shadow creatures. That's the long and short of it. Huh. Yeah, that's far and away from whatever I thought solo leveling was about.
Scully, who woke you up? A gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research. I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped.
Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe.
Does the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives?
Now that you mention it, I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids.
A necromancer's behind all this? A necromancer's behind all this?
Like that, maybe?
Is he trying to break the sigils just to get the Tuat? The spirit dragon in the realm of death?
Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination.
Seems like they're not, unfortunately.
Do you think the person in the armor is his friend? Does that mean I have been assuming this whole time the person in the armor was a guy and that's bad of me? Do I need to repent again?
Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat?
No, but he do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls of spirit dragon guards.
Twice in one stream, Josh. Come on, man. Man, I'm failing. I'm failing, man.
Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions.
But my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no?
Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him.
Can you kill death?
I don't know. And merely attempting it sounds disastrous.
Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is a god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god.
Unless, if they're called a spirit dragon, they're technically in a way undead. And if a necromancer were to try and maybe resurrect or use their magic on Tuat, it would count like putting them under your spell, right? Maybe? All right, back to lurking. Good luck with your lurk. Good luck. Have fun with your lurk. What could he possibly do with trying to get to Tuat? Wait. What was said earlier?
Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this.
You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragon by the dragons, only meant for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself.
Stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Count as a sigil?
Alright, you lost me again. I talked about this already. Keep up.
I don't think... Yeah, she was not there for that.
It might count as a sigil, if it awakens or damages their plane.
Or should not be awakened under any circumstance. Nor should the legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning.
I'm right there with you. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Shut up, me. Stop saying nothing to worry about. You may be... Here's the thing, you know, you may be all-knowing, omniscient, or whatever, all-powerful. That doesn't mean that regular people don't have their concerns in life. Seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy.
They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we're correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. They must be a distraction. A way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back.
Jojo has a net? Are you talking about the internet? Is the rain screwing in with it? No! The rain is helping! The reason why the internet has been bad is because of the freaking heat. It's cold now. I love it. I wish it would stay raining. Yeah. I mean, I notice it all the time whenever it's summer. It's always when it's really hot, when connectivity is at an all-time low. But now on this day where it is cloudy and raining, there is no problem. I wish it would stay like that. I don't know. You take what you get, right? You can't exactly fight nature. I can't fight my own way. What was it? Just like you can't fight gravity. I can't do his voice. Gravity. Can't fight my own nature. That's the paradox of it. I forgot the whole thing. His whole speech. That's the only part I remember. He was you can't fight nature, just like you can't fight gravity. Quite a dangerous distractions, if you ask me.
Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either way, should they?
No.
Those sigils of alcohol, zest, you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree? Spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the ether tree. Not only would that free all the dead souls, it could destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain why death dying would be a bad thing.
Once again, can he die?
Wouldn't risk it.
Do I believe this? Plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon. Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed.
Wait, what you mean is, this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days? Or next year?
Precisely.
I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules.
It is common courtesy.
Clay, I've been wondering. Remember that man we saw on our way back near Marrow Castle?
Yeah. You think he might have been the same guy?
I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Call spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the Astral Sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him.
I knew the blood was gonna come in handy. It was gonna come into question here. The moment there was a connection between Tuat and the first vampire, being Mike, as Kyle said, Mikhail, I knew that it was gonna be the key to finding Tuat. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him.
Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out of context is giving me a headache. Innkeep, got another drink to spare? Got another drink to spare to help with all this mess. Something powerful enough to get me through this.
Anything for you, Lynn. What's that? I'm gonna give you the Southern Brawler. Doo-doo-doo. Here you go. It's the regular old Southern Brawler. Put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy.
Holy shit, this is good. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot.
Anytime.
So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then.
Great idea.
I know. Now how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare realm. Nothing easier than that.
Didn't Melly see some weird new bone way markers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the moon swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say the necromancer, of the way to the portal?
They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach in Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great. Let's go in and beat his ass.
Hold on. What if you don't succeed? What if he's right? What do you mean, what if he's right? What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan?
Hate to say it, but you're not wrong.
Thanks for looking out for us.
If we don't manage to stop him before getting that weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar.
That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have the sword I got from my Baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship. infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the great axe in any capacity.
What if it was mixed with dragonfire?
What?
Do you happen to have such a thing on your hand, young lad?
No, but I know where we could find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that.
You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If you had a master craftsman to forge it, that is.
Hey, Rhea.
Rhea. She's a blacksmith.
It'd be great for a competition for sure, if she cares enough. You're right, there's no one better for the job.
Yeah, my sword would get her first place, no question. I'll make sure to bring that up while trying to convince her. Thanks for the idea. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well.
And the others, too.
Yes, the others too.
I'll be honest, not sure if the 4 of you will be enough.
Don't worry, there's a lot of people we could ask for help. Like you.
Sorry, I'm bound to this frickin' tavern or something. Like me. I prefer if you get me out of this. No, stop being not part of the world.
I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right?
I try my best.
Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time.
Good idea, young man.
Plus that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us.
Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning.
I trust in you as you trust in us.
Why do you look so angry? Have some faith in me. Faith, Arthur. Have some goddamn faith, Arthur. Not at all. Cautiously, deeply.
Yes. Deeply in the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Carolyn, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go.
I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep.
Thank you for all your help. Let's save this world, alright?
Let's, Clay. Good luck. Okay. Probably the armor guy. The undead marching towards the capital are a mere distraction. Unfortunately, that does not make them any less dangerous. To reach to no, that's a different one. The enemy aims for the destruction of the ether tree. These undead can't seem to get enough fiber. No, not that one. Wow. The capital is wrapped in roots. According to the myth as ancient as time. Ether tree. No, not that one. Ether tree. Ether tree. Nope. Legends or clerics say that the first flame Leviathan ever bestowed upon us mankind still burns. In a temple in the Highlands. Legend has it, the great axe of ore lies hidden somewhere. No, that's not it. We're trying to also enchant that sword. A weapon forged with dragonfire can resist another draconic weapon's power. Not that one. Not that one either. Nope. Not that. Great sword once belonged. There we go.
Heir of Dragonfire.
Only a dragon forge in Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Ore. Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers? An heirloom passed down to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. Oh, I can make 3 quests, okay. Wondrous Plane of Ore can be accessed through the Twilight Chasm. No, not that. The Great Axe of Ore. And then the other one is here. I knew it. World calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat in the Ether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of Ore, and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first, we must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that, he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Capital. Capital. To reach Tuat. Is it this one? Oh, it is. Nice. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Ether Tree, and therefore to the capital of Themis, since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots. It is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. I'm guessing the last quest, maybe just stopping that guy. The necromancer. Or the ritual. Something about the ritual. Twilight Zinnias, 32nd of the astral moon. Carolyn, Kyle, Rhea. Just you 3? She did it. You convinced her. Good. Good morning. Slept well?
The greeting ain't gonna do, Innkeep. Give me your best lines. I'll hear them all today.
Top of the morning to you, adventurers.
Go on.
Peace and contentment be upon you, travelers.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet water and good berries, friends?
All right, enough.
You seem to be in high spirits.
Not often you get the chance to work on the project of a lifetime.
Glad you're so passionate about this. Hope you didn't give Lynn too hard of a time convincing you.
Nah. Once I mentioned Dragonfire, it would have been harder to stop her from going on the quest. It was just tough to find her. Didn't take you for a nighttime soup enjoyer.
I'm not, usually. I can be persuaded, though, with the right soup and company.
Oh! I assume your quest for comfort food turned out successful. Not at all. It was thwarted by the shadow of night. Dearest Rhea promised me we shall endeavor to make shortbread another day, when the sun is high in the sky. And the stores are open. She knows how to bake. I wonder which... Oh, she's going for the Dragonfire. I was about to say, oh, I wonder which quest she went on. And he's very interested in studying other undead since he came back conscious instead of being a lifeless puppet. He tried to strike up conversation with other zombies, and even unionize with them. Now he's committed to fighting for better, working, and unliving conditions for the undead. Working and unliving conditions. Rhea grew up in the realm of myths and legends, the subterranean caves, the realm of Ur himself. Lately, she seems to be warming up to some guy in company and even teams up with other adventurers. Speaking of warm, she's always down for some hearty soup, but her comfort food is freshly baked shortbread. Whoa. And the stores are open.
I'll need to make that sword first, though.
Did Carolyn update you on what's at stake?
sure did.
I don't care about that. I care about the frickin' sword. Those sigils of alcoholic zest won't know what hit them when they see my newly forged weapon.
The sigils of Alcahest. Gesundheit. So I assume you've worked out a plan?
More or less.
Not like we've got a lot of info in that quest of yours.
I'm sorry.
You work with what you had. We'll manage. Though that ever-burning flame of Leviathan sounds more like a myth than something real.
Sounds exactly like something you need for a mythical weapon capable of saving the world.
Ha! Still, are you sure you're okay with reforging your weapon for your sword for this care?
Yes, it's the right thing to do.
That wasn't what I was asking about. Believe me, I know a thing or two about the importance of an heirloom.
It's fine. It's just... I wonder if it'll still feel the same... If I'll still feel the same connection to my Baba when I look at the sword afterwards.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, I was just thinking of something.
Eventually everything she gazed at in life will be gone.
Don't you think she'd be looking at the sword of Kirlan the hero?
Now you're sweet-talking me. That's quite a wonderful ring to it.
I didn't know your grandma. Reforging that sword with dragonfire to save the world. I think she would have been mighty proud of you.
She would have been mighty proud of you. Alright, that's what I was thinking of. I think my pay stub should be updated now. No? Oh yeah, it did. Oof. Yeah, better than nothing.
And I'll make sure that weapon is the best anyone swung this side of the ether tree.
You have a competition to win, after all.
Exactly. I've been thinking all night about what techniques to use. The design ain't exactly final, but I'll finish it during our trip to the Highlands if I'm fast enough.
Rhea, you doing okay?
You ever heard of giving someone time to think?
Seem to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
This can't just be some simple run-of-the-mill weapon. And there's so much to decide before starting the forging process. Hidden, quenching, tapering.
And a fine Varican heat treatment techniques.
And a 5... Wait.
Toaster Chrome, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. How are you? Hello. Thank you for the raid. Let me go to give you a shout out. For those of y'all who don't know who I am, the name is Josh Kuji, your local grocery store VTuber, and I'm currently playing Tavern Talk. If any of y'all need to go get something to drink, go get something to eat, or if you need to rest, by all means do so. And if you choose to stay, I hope you find your stay comforting. That's the wrong command. Comforting and relaxing. Try to foster a chill vibe here, chill enough for you to put me on in the background while you do things like cooking, cleaning, studying, or working, or whatever. Just put me on in the background and I will fill that silence for you. Hello there, how was stream for you? If I can just do this correctly. There you go. Looks like you were playing Quake. How was that? That's same company as Doom, right? Wasn't that also a game of theirs? Or like the same developers, I want to say. But how was stream? If any of y'all need a raid and run, don't let me keep you here. Your time and health is the most important. So make sure you prioritize you first. You first. Yeah, I just turned 30 on Monday. You just turned 30 on Monday? Or the game turned 30 on Monday? I'm assuming you mean the game. But if it was you, happy birthday. Hope it was a good stream. The game, okay, the game, okay. I was about to say happy birthday. Well, I guess I could say happy birthday. It's a Quake. Wow, that game is older than me, huh? That's weird. There are plenty of games older than me. Does it play like Doom? Is it also an FPS or a shooter game? I want to say maybe. I'm pretty sure that's the same one, right? Is that the one that I'm thinking of? Quake and Doom?
And a 5. Wait. That could actually work. I'm surprised you still remembered those.
Certainly. You were very passionate about the method. I'm just stoked to get a weapon made by you, Rhea.
Howdy there, MacTags. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. How are you? Hello. Yup, it's the older style. More of a true boomer shooter. Boomer shooter. Now that it's old, it's definitely a boomer now.
If it's you, I know my Baba's sword is in good hands.
You seem to have a forging part covered. Anything planned for the rest of the quest?
Right. Since we don't really know much about who or what might be guarding the flame, we're taking Hex along. Should we encounter any defenses of the, magical sort. As for how we get to the Highlands, Tia couldn't come along, so let's hope Bai is up for helping us with her tree travel thing.
Sounds like you got your bases covered. You was the main fighter, Rhea is the craftsmaster. Not bad, just kicked off a major live upgrade so you can't see. What? Kicked off a major go live upgrade? What's go live? But saw you were doing Tavern again, figured you'd stop. You draw folks off for chill time, started not feeling great unfortunately, so needed a raid run. Oh no! Get some rest!
Do whatever you need to make you feel a bit better.
Drink some water. Stretch. All that. But thank you for the raid again. So make sure you take care of yourself. Goodbye, good night, good time zone to you. Hex and Bayer as magical support, and Kyle as...
I'm afraid I won't be able to fill a role this time, Innkeeper. I tried to distract myself, but the mere thought of dear Evelyn hurt and alone, or worse. It struck me with a torment strong enough to make me even this undead heart bleed with worry.
Oh, just a production environment project that starts right now. Oh wow. Is it a huge thing that you're part of? Hopefully everything goes well.
No matter what transpired between us, all I crave was to know her safe. But to allow my dear friends to march into danger alone was no less distressing.
He was almost inconsolable the entire evening.
I don't want to choose one side, only to lose the other forever.
That's when I slammed my empty bowl of soup down on the table between us. We weren't gonna go off and die just because he took his eyes off of us for a few days.
And yet that very fate had struck me several times in the past.
I said, well, Tua be damned if you never get to see me master weapon. Doesn't matter if I had to chew my way through that tree myself. Heard the dead have a taste for bark anyway.
It was as if those words washed away most of the anguish that was ailing my soul. Surely it was time to believe in the future. And to reconcile with the past I left behind. All for my most cherished people.
Yeah, it's one of those 2 major pillars of software our company uses. And yeah, you literally soloed it. It's been a 4-month process. Oh my goodness. You soloed a 4-month process? Now I really hope everything goes well.
As long as I didn't forget along the way.
And we found a workaround for that.
Flashcards! I just need to pull them out and be greeted by the wonderful cards prepared for me by Ray and Carolyn. Even though they may be far from me.
Sounds great, Kyle.
There is one about you as well.
I'm honored. Seems like you thought of everything then. Are they just flashcards to help with his memory? Help him remember everyone?
Hopefully.
Some help from your drinks would be mighty appreciated nonetheless.
Anything particular in mind?
Some fire resistance seemed like it'd come in pretty handy.
That does sound reasonable.
We could focus on agility, if we're already going that direction. Don't think we want to take whatever traps we run into head on.
Apply directly to the forehead.
And add some strength as well, for anything we can't avoid.
That and the fire resistance should definitely help with forging the weapon as well.
Though, the ghost berry I brought you yesterday, I wouldn't mind some invisibility either. It might give us some imaginative ways to deal with whatever challenges we end up facing. Concentrating on intelligence to take full advantage of that sounds like a good option too.
Hex would like that.
I bet. Knowing him, there's an equal chance of his ideas going right or horribly wrong. If things go south, we'll need a charm to talk our way out of anything. And in this way, dear Evelyn will be stunned by my most captivating entrance.
Sounds decent.
Some intelligence could also help with figuring out those techniques you mentioned.
And my design, I guess. Alright, Innkeep. You look like you're bursting to help us out with this decision. Is it going to be dexterity with some strength as backup and fire resistance, or should we approach this with intelligence, small dose of charisma in case things go really wrong, and some handy invincibility?
Invisibility. Well, if you're asking me, what would be good here? Strength, sure, for traps and all that, if there is a powerful person, but the whole point of this is to forge a weapon in a way that she doesn't even know how to at the moment. So I feel like in this case, what would be best would be intelligence. I think I might want to go for intelligence in this case. Or strength. I think I want to go with intelligence. In this case, she needs to know how to forge the weapon. So I need to go with invisibility, which can be used via the ghost berries. Look at them! Hey, those things are cute! There's little berries in the shape of ghosts. They're so cute. I want one of those. Oh, look at it. It's just a little guy. I mean, I don't think it's an actual ghost. It's just a berry in the shape of a ghost. But it's just a little guy. It's his birthday. Okay, we're going with that. So what would be good? Not that. Something that would have both brain and... I think that might work. Peak sunrise. I think I should be able to make that. So for that, I would need 2 of that. I wouldn't have to do anything with charisma because that's all I need. We're going to lose one of this, but we just need to fill it up to get to 2 of this. There we go. Peak sunrise. The brain. If you want to forge that weapon properly, it might be best to reserve your strength. Also, anyone guarding the flame should be pretty invested in the dragon's well-being. So here, solving the challenges ahead of you cleverly.
Appreciate it, Innkeeper. I think this will put us back on the right track.
And with that, we're off to the Highlands. Me and Kyle are gonna go grab Hex before I let him go check on his ex-wife. You go get Baya?
What? Me and Kyle are gonna go grab Hex before I let him go. Okay, I was about to say, I glossed over the Kyle part, and I thought it was like Hex's ex-wife. I didn't even know he was married, or he was married.
You go get Baya?
Sure.
Good.
And while you're there, you should have a soak. Would you like a coupon? I have plenty of a coupon for you.
All right, that's it, Innkeep. One last line for good luck. Make it count.
Mind a creaky step on your way out.
Heh, fair. Fare thee well, dear Innkeeper.
Yeah? What? Would you like to go out for drinks later, Lynn? I don't think there's any romance for me, the player. Only romance between the characters.
Kinda weird, isn't it?
What is? What is?
It's going to be a battle for the fate of the world. But Alfie ain't even here to worry themselves stupid about it. They'd have loved this, I think. Not the impending doom, but all this getting together to defeat evil stuff. Make sure to tell those guys heading out to the Twilight Portal to keep an eye out for him.
I will.
Good. Suppose it's time for me to head out as well.
Stay safe, Lynn.
Always, innkeeper.
Where's Fable? I miss them. Oh. Is Jade part of your troop now?
Innkeeper, we have returned.
I could see that, Tia. I was awaiting you. I'm surprised to see you here, Jade.
Yeah. Well, Miss Holier Than Thou dragged me along. Some asshole about some shit about finally doing my part. I distinctly remember you expressing open interest in our plight when we were talking to Iniko. I believe you asked multiple questions that indicated your desire to help. And I remember asking how much you'd pay, and you said nothing. So I said, no thanks. And yet you didn't resist coming along.
You have a better job lined up, Jade?
Not yet. Iniko and I are eyeing something, but I guess I've got some time to kill.
Perhaps Iniko can help too. Perhaps Iniko can cause chaos on their own then. Can Iniko help you here? What is your quest? What are you doing?
They better. Not sure if I can deal with Princess here alone. No need to deal with me. I can handle myself.
I'd love to have Iniko on the team.
Me too.
I assume you've written us a quest, Innkeeper?
I have. Take a look. Quest taken. Oh no, I'm gonna have to prepare multiple drinks this stream. Which one are you taking?
Excellent work.
Are you doing the one for Ur, or are you doing the one for the Ether Tree? I think the Ether Tree might come later, because we're trying to stop that. I think. Yeah. Because they need the Great Axe in order to damage the tree. So I feel like in this case, they would probably go for the axe. You know, make it so that the Necromancer doesn't get it first.
I knew we could count on you.
Let me have a look at that. We just have to catch the guy at the portal. Seems simple enough. You could even set up an ambush.
Or be sneaky if he's already there.
You can sneak, big guy?
I could do a lot of things. A few years back, I spent time with some Lithic Panthers who showed me how to sneak up on anybody. I just don't like doing it. Seems a bit rude, you know?
No, I don't.
But I think the situation calls for a little rudeness.
Agreed, it does. And for a little more manpower. You're right, Innkeeper. We should ask Iniko for help. Also, Hex suggested taking Voy along.
Voy? Oh, okay. I was like, what's Voy gonna do?
He's great at distractions and knows his way around the Twilight Chasm. Should request lead into it. Apparently he has family there, though I hope we don't need to disturb them.
Anyone else?
We considered a whole lot more, but Scully and Grace made a good point.
They said not everyone is battle tested, and that it'd be reckless to take inexperienced adventurers along. They also said we should look into more backup plans for the backup plan. Into more backup plans for the backup plan. I think they just wanted an excuse to do some research and to stay away from the bloodshed.
Can't blame them.
Melly really wanted to come too, but Dave said no.
Is he coming himself?
Of course. Of course. Made these two ask him before you got here. We need good fighters and kids got some talent.
I hope he said goodbye properly this time.
Carolyn made sure he did. Never saw a more terrifying death glare in my whole life. It was very impressive. It was. So are you finished up with your questions?
Actually, could you review the plan for me one more time? It's been a long couple of weeks.
Sure. So listen up. We make it to the Twilight Portal by the moon pools and we stop our big bad evil from going through. If we fail that, or if he's faster than us, we chase him through the Twilight Chasm and into Ur. And we prevent him from getting that fancy axe. And if that fails, well, we stop him at all costs.
Sounds like a good plan. While you're at it, will you keep an eye for Fable for me? Why do I get the feeling that Fable is gonna end up being an ore for some reason? It's more than likely they went to the Twilight Chasm because they thought Melly might be there. Might have gone there, like lost there during the flood. So maybe Fable just went inside of the portal to the Twilight Chasm and ended up in Ur somehow. Of course!
Now, Innkeeper, by the dragons and all that is holy in this world, can we count on your help again?
Yeah. Nah. What do you need?
Easy. We just need to be quicker than that maniac. We should be the first to reach the portal. And we should be the first to attack him, all while dodging his counterattacks. Outspeeding him might seems like the smartest option here. You're wrong. It is foolish to think his strikes won't be powerful. We need to be well protected against him, so we can take him down before he really hurts any of us. Don't be stupid. If we're fast enough, he won't even get a chance to hurt us. I'd like you to say that again when you're lying in a pool of your own blood.
Okay, maybe we need both? It's just the balance that counts. We should focus on a whole lot of defense, but keep some dexterity on our back pocket. And maybe some of those facet fusion thingies could make up the difference.
I could hasten you with some golden feathers or saber fangs.
Great. Alternatively, you could give us a lot of dexterity instead, with just a little bit of defense on top. And to make sure we don't get hurt, you can give us some of that frost armor Scully keeps talking about.
Sure thing. Got enough frozen pie cones left for that.
I don't think Jade and Tia can make a decision without bloodshed, so could you help us out?
Of course. I know just what to do. I think if they're gonna go up against the Necromancer, it will be a good thing here. So it's either we focus on defense with a little bit of dexterity, or we focus on dexterity with a little bit of defense. Now, with the frost armor, that actually gives a good boost to the defense, you know? And with the Fleetfoot, oh, actually both of them kind of like balance each other out, see that? Yeah, because it's three defense with 1 agility, but the Fleetfoot would help with the agility. And then the other one is dexterity with little defense, but then the frost armor would complement that to make the defense even better. So in this case, they're kind of the same. I don't know if there's going to be one that really works better than the other, right? Because they're kind of the same. I want to say they're the same. Which should we do, I wonder? I'm gonna go with... If it's against the Necromancer, I would probably, and if they're very strong considering their armor, I mean, that's not really something to go by. Just because someone has big armor doesn't necessarily mean that they're, you know, like strong. So I'm gonna go with, but I am gonna go with defense, so that's what I would want. Defense, a little bit of haste. So now we gotta figure out what to make using that. So in this case, it would be with charisma and dexterity. Dexterity is already taken care of. So all we need now is attack. Sorry, not attack, defense. What do we have for defense? Oh, that would work. Yeah? Yeah, and it even has the charisma. Yeah, let's go with that. Which means, looks like it's going to be one of that. Boop. And 3 of that. 1, 2, or 3. First, no. That should be it for the defense. Okay. Defense should be your #1 priority. And I think haste makes for a good backup plan. You can never have enough of those.
See, I was right. As usual, you chose the right focus, Innkeeper. Ugh. At least we'll be fast, so I don't have to listen to you gloat much longer. Let's get this over with. Alright, Clay. Let's go.
What? What's that look for?
Clay? You okay?
No, I don't think so. Aren't you scared?
Of what?
All of this. Fate of the world is a very heavy weight to bear, don't you think? What if someone gets hurt and I can't stop it? What if I can't protect you and the others in the world and the ferrets?
Oh, you're raising a death flag, dude. Don't do that.
Clay, stop, please. For a moment, just stop.
Yeah, don't say that. This is a world of tropes, and you just entered a death flag of some sort. Or, you know, maybe not a death flag, but maybe something bad. You're jinxing it, is what I'm saying.
I know this is scary. Truth be told, I'm scared too. My whole life has been building up to this moment. I've always been told I'm meant to save people, and if I can't, what's the point of me, you know?
You're the point. I'm glad you exist, even if you don't save anyone. You're not some mythical savior, you're my friend.
And you're mine, and I'm a little less afraid because I have you with me. You taught me how to value myself as a person, despite all the weight on my shoulders. I wish you would do the same for yourself. I promise you together we'll get through this. And we will save each other and our friends and the world and all of the ferrets. And the innkeeper while we're at it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate being included. You're enough, Clay. Fear is a powerful motivator. Use it. What was it that, it was Eisen's like,
without fear, I never would have made it this far.
Fear is a powerful motivator. Use it. Courage, not absence fear, but go along with it. If you're scared and they'll get hurt, channel all your fear into making sure they don't. Let me try that line again. If you're scared they'll get hurt, channel all your fear into making sure they don't.
So use my fear for strength, just like with anger.
Exactly. Don't let him use it against you. Strike him down with it.
I think I could work with that. Can we still hold hands on the way there? So it's a little less scary?
Oh, you two are holding hands, I see.
Of course. And remember, you can never lose me.
Oh, that's a death flag right there.
Your bracelet will always tell you exactly where I am. And if you get lost somehow, despite your impeccable sense of orientation, mine will help me find you too.
Which one of you is gonna die? No. There's some death flags I can't help but notice happening here.
You just got lost looking,
Or at the very least, they're gonna get separated. There's gonna be a whole deal with their bracelets. You know, like showing them where the other is. Here's my theory. If they are indeed raising a death flag, you ready for this? You ready for this? One of them is gonna die, but they're gonna end up in the spirit realm where Tuat is. And using the bracelet, because you gotta find a way to, in order to find Tuat, you gotta have a connection to go towards. So if one of them dies and one of them is wearing the bracelet, they'll be able to use that in order to find Tuat. Ooh, brain. And if I'm wrong, I didn't say anything.
You just got lost looking. You just got lost looking.
Maybe I have to ask Jade for help. I'd do that for you. I'd do that for you.
Thank you, Tia. You're a great best friend.
Oh, sorry you. Alright then, best bud. Let's do this together.
That's... someone's fucking dying. Or damaged, or hurt, or separated. Or dead. If I am right in my frickin' theory, I'm the biggest brain there ever was.
We won't need it.
Oh, Grace. Hey.
You must have made them some really good drinks, innkeeper. I've never seen Clay that determined.
I tried my best. I have to say, Grace, surprised you're not accompanying Hex to see the ever-burning flame.
Melly, that's me. She didn't want to stop studying the magic spells. She thinks they might help us solve all this. I think what might help me right now is a drink. Something that'll get my thoughts flowing gracefully despite all this mess.
Give me a moment.
Melly.
We must protect the cat at all times. We just found her. She did what all, the cats that people don't keep inside, and sometimes they just let them out, and they'll come back whenever they want to. That's what Melly did. Melly just wandered off somewhere and came back on her own. Actually, she tagged along, didn't she? She came back with other people, but she did wander off on her own. A delicious thought detangler, just for you.
I don't think I've ever tasted detangler as delicious as this. You've tasted the tangler?
Melly, would you like a drink as well? Chocolate milk?
No, thank you. I've already had 3 hot chocolates today. I think if any more magic enters my system, I'm gonna eat the sun.
So that already happened. On to another topic then. I heard you've formed a research team?
We did. Obviously Grace and I are leaders, but we also recruited Scully and Archie. And Una said she'd wanted to sit with us and crochet while we worked.
What a great excuse to help. Lazy as usual, I see. She's probably gonna be like... She's gonna use her... She's not going to directly help. But you know, she has all this knowledge of being an adventurer. She is retired, yes. That's what Grace says. She is retired, but then she'll be like, oh, you know, that reminds me of something. There used to be this thing that could help out with this problem. You know, like guide them towards a solution. Not necessarily do it for them, but you know, give them a little bit of a head start, a little bit of an idea. A light the spark.
Well, she is retired.
And avoidant.
She's crocheting gloves so we can hold our weapons better. They're really cool. Rufus is helping us too. His wool is so soft it calms everyone down.
Rufus is a sheep fish. I don't know how that works. It seems to be an actual sheep fish considering they keep saying that it has wool. But you would think it would just be wet. Then again, isn't wool kind of, not necessarily waterproof, but it takes a while to soak it up or something like that? I may be wrong on that. I thought maybe wool would be one of those things that just like water bounces off of it, kind of like that. It's hydrophobic in 2026.
I wish Dave would join us too. I guess he's busy fighting the mean guy. But he promised he'd be back soon, so...
And he'd better keep that promise. What are you looking into anyway? Melly mentioned spells? Were those the ones Hex found in the tower?
Yes, those ones exactly. Stayed up all night decoding their formulas, but... as soon as he figured out what they were about, he lost interest. So I picked them up. Most of them were rudimentary, all things we already have in our spellbooks. But two struck out to me.
Care to educate me?
Which one do you want to hear about first? Teleportation or soul binding?
Soul binding. What could soul binding help with in this situation? I feel like, teleportation, Voy seems to have an instrument that can open up a portal or something like that. So maybe they don't necessarily need to know about teleportation, but I wonder what soul binding would be able to help with. I wouldn't even know. Bind the soul to the sword that Rhea is making.
Hex brought home a glass case with a glowing floating scroll inside. After we got it out and removed all the protective runes, he was pretty disappointed.
A riddle-locked glass case and protective runes. Seems like someone didn't want it to be used.
I'm pretty sure I know why. It describes pulling souls right out of people's bodies and binding them to objects. Completely volatile magic, and dangerous, I assume. It's been a little hard to translate. Trying to figure out any side effects it may have. So I can convince Hex not to use it whenever he's slightly inconvenienced.
Sounds difficult, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. What about the other scroll?
The other scroll. One of those scrolls he found holds a powerful teleportation spell. Now I fancy myself quite equipped at conjuration magic, but Hex finds it boring. He picked the scroll up because he assumed the golden runes meant it was special. He was right, but I guess it didn't have enough fire for him.
More special than a soul binding scroll?
No, but still special enough. I think if cast correctly, it could get you anywhere in Asteria with incredible accuracy. Even to protected planes and other planes, but I'm trying to figure out myself how to use it without destroying myself. It requires more mana than people usually have in their body.
They're gonna use the teleportation spell to get to Tuat. But they're still gonna need to find an anchor. So that's when one of those two die. I'm just banking on one of them dying. It's gonna happen, I tell you. I could read tropes like a book.
It requires more mana than people usually have in their body.
So you think it'd kill its caster?
Almost certainly so.
Okay, here's the thing here, right? It almost kills the user. So Grace and Hex are going to cast it together, and the effect of that will be Hex will lose most of his lifespan, and therefore will be able to age alongside Grace, so he doesn't have to, watch her die in front of him. Boom. Trope.
Almost certainly so. It still has a lot of promise. Maybe I can modify it.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Hex also brought back a lot of the wizard's personal notes.
He cares as much about the people around him as he does about all the animals he meets. He knows his own strength and how helpful his abilities are, but that also puts immense pressure on him. He wants to protect everyone, but even a half-giant can only do so much. Still, it's good to see him believe in himself. Grace is probably Voyage's biggest fan. From time to time, she argues with her brother, because to her, he seems very controlling, even though she's more than capable of casting protective spells. But now, she has her hands on two very powerful yet dangerous spells, and is determined to figure out how to use them.
Diaries and such, retellings of his exploits, of his hopes, dreams, and fears. When I have more time, I think I'll be able to do a deep dive into who he was. Maybe I can even put a little exhibition together, if Voy and Iniko let me borrow some of those magic items.
I doubt they'd refuse. They'll refuse you.
I'd hope not. I want some magic scrolls of my own to decipher. But first, we need to finish this research. But just because we need to figure it out, Just because we need to figure out what to do if... It's just nice to have something to do is all. Plus, I'll take any excuse to hear more of Scully's Everbloom stories. Just trying to figure out whether he can reverse the sigils. That'd be neat.
Maybe you can Maybe you can duct tape them back together? Or flex tape. It could even bring back a boat sawed in half.
I don't think so. With Archie's help, I also made this whole board where I can collect and connect all our clues. Specifically, spaghetti. Specifically, I've been looking into who exactly that necromancer guy could be. Clay said he noticed some flowers on his armor, and I think that might be a clue. That might be...
I'm losing the voice.
Clay said he noticed some flowers on his armor, and I think that might be a clue. Maybe he's a florist, or they're zombie flowers, or he wants to destroy all the flowers. I need to figure out what his motive is. Because if we could figure out his motive, we could figure out who he is. Then we could figure out his weakness. Not that we'll need him, because Dave and the others will. What did he say? Kick his abs. But looking into it makes me... calmer? Yeah. They'll be alright, right, Innkeeper? The zombies aren't gonna eat them like they ate my parents.
They won't. They might. Nah. One of them might bite the dust. Or two. There's a whole lot of them there. They'll all protect each other. I'll come back for you.
I hope so. I don't want that to happen again. I miss my parents. I wish they were here to hold my hand.
Aw, baby. What were they like?
Well, I remember my dad always told me bedtime stories about swashbuckling burglars. And I remember my mom loved making things out of yarn, especially socks. And they were really nice and cool, and I loved them so much.
I know I can't replace your parents, but is it okay if I hold your hand until Dave, Carolyn, and Fable come back?
That'd be nice. I feel a lot safer with them around, you know? Like I'm home again.
You're not alone anymore. You are home. Your home is here. With them. And also the tavern, I guess. You are home.
I think so too. But enough dramatic backstory. I'm turning into Dave. Just less repressed and gay for Fable.
You just said it. Just less repressed and gay for Fable. Happy Pride!
Maybe it's time to head out. We'll update you on your research tomorrow, Innkeeper. But first, we're going to get lots of ice cream.
Exactly. Luna promised she'd make some. Save some for me.
We'll try.
Oh, you. I don't even remember who you are. Hello there. It's been a while since you last showed up. I think, if I remember correctly, this guy was like a former travel companion, or maybe adventurer, fellow adventurer, something like that. Someone we definitely knew back then. Hello there. It's been a while since you last showed up. I don't even remember how to voice you. Not something might have happened to you. Feared you went home without saying goodbye. I wouldn't do that, my friend. I did end up fighting those golden loon feathers quickly, with a little help from Voyage. But with everything going down, I decided to stick around and help those in need. Sounds just like you. How are things with you, though? You don't need to say much for me to know what that face means. I've seen it once or twice before. Is there something I could do for you? What is there to be done, Quincy? It's like everything is in limbo. Like dancing on the edge of a blade. One wrong move and it's over? Something like that. Would it help if I ask you for a drink? Maybe. You know what always helps me when I'm feeling down? What? A good cup of Quincy's hot chocolate. Here, after all I've heard, you might need it more than me. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Hey, now I can make hot chocolate for Melly. What does it do? Oh, it actually has an effect. Perfect for the cold night of the winter solstice or days when your heart just needs a little warming up. Quincy's hot chocolate will have your spirits reinvigorated in no time. This hot cocoa with a dash of cinnamon quickly returns the feeling back into your chilled bones and maybe will make you feel a little less alone. Melly! And then again, she said that she already had 3 hot chocolates. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Now go on, make me a drink. This one or another one. Whatever you like. I'm gonna make it. What chocolate? I'm gonna give you the frickin' last whisper so you could die. Doo-doo-doo. What do I need here? Definitely dexterity. I don't think I really need the brain. So not that. I do need that. Ah, Sangngg! Sangngg! I can't make that into a drink. Then again, Sex on the Beach is a drink. So maybe I can. We're gonna use this one. And one of these. And... oh, actually, I do need this. Like that? Yeah. How the hell does that turn into chocolate? I get the other ones. They're, you know, like magical drinks. This is chocolate. Get a way to try it out right away. Well, you replicated it perfectly. The hands are hard and warm. Want a sip for yourself? You look like you need it. Maybe later. May this drink be warmer than the currents of these times. Most certainly is. Thank you, Innkeep. Of course. So, how are you? I'm losing my freaking mind here. Understandable. Feels like an underreaction. Feels like there's a million different emotions whirling around in my head. Almost none of them good. And if they are good, my worries twist them into something horrifying. That doesn't seem fair. I don't know if emotions can be fair or unfair. Either way, it's good to feel things. Reminds you you're alive. Like I feel a little less. We all say that, until we suddenly do, and then we wish we weren't so empty. Isn't it good to care again? To have people you want to be well? Maybe. I didn't think I'd care again. I didn't want to, but... it just happened? Yeah, just like that. Without my consent, I might add. The heart wants what it wants, and sometimes what it wants is friendship. But I could see how that's a scary feeling. So many things are on the line now, perhaps more than you bargained for. It was easier when I just looked away. Would you rather look away than help your patrons? Your friends? No, I want to help them. They're my friends. Would I rather look away? No, I would not. And now I have to face the fear of losing them. Funny. Funny? Did you swear to me you were done fearing death? That you had nothing left to lose? Sometimes lying to ourselves is easier than lying to others, I guess. I keep why I told you so to myself. I'll keep my I told you so to myself. I just feel like I'm stuck in an endless cycle, and there's no way out that doesn't tear me apart. Would it help you to know that we've all felt like that at some point in our lives? Not really, no. Let me leave you with this instead. Love may come at a price of loss,
But with the inevitability of loss, also comes the reward of love. You can't lose something without having loved it. And so you should love whatever it is you fear to lose.
Oh, there was this great quote from Thor, not Thor Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok. It's with Faye and Kratos, you know, and she's like preparing Kratos and Atreus for her death, and so it's like to have loved, what was it? To grieve deeply is to have loved fully, is what she says. No, the culmination of love is grief, like that. So if you fear losing something, it means you love it. And if you miss them, if you grieve for them, it means you love them as well. I like that quote. She says something like, I think the quote was, to grieve deeply is to have loved fully. Open your eyes as you have opened it to me, and you will find every reason to keep living in it. Something like that. It's open your heart to the world as you have opened it up to me. And open it up to me, and you will find every reason to keep living in it. Like that. It's a great quote. I never finished the game, but I remember that part. I should finish the game. I'm pretty sure that was in the second game. Yeah. I mean, not second game. Ragnarok. It's not the second God of War game. It's the second of that storyline, I guess.
And so you should love whatever it is you fear to lose. Those are the moments that matter. The moments that make your life worth living. Besides, you have the power to step out of that cursed circle anytime.
Do I?
Write your own story, my friend. Don't doom yourself because you think it's what you deserve.
I forgot how good you are at giving advice. Makes me a bit envious.
You'll get there eventually.
I hope so. Thanks for checking in. I think I needed that.
Of course. Please, don't stop reaching out. Safety of isolation is not worth the loneliness.
I'll try to remember that.
You better. Now I think I heard the night market is close by, and I really don't want to waste this opportunity, so...
Don't let me hold you back.
Till next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and be safe out there.
Am I actually gonna step out of the freaking tavern? I don't know, I got a catchphrase. Oh well. Guess it comes with age. Maybe next millennium. So we don't exactly know what we are. Whoa, that is a design. Wait, armor. Are you the necromancer? Hello. Greetings, traveler. Nice armor. Is it new? No. I don't even know. No. Doesn't it seem familiar? The flowers certainly do. Did you keep my book? My books? You look like Doctor Strange, except your mustache isn't a goatee. If you have it connect, then you look like Doctor Strange. You know, I imagine this place differently. It's nice. Thank you. But I thought you'd be long gone by now. After all, you like running, don't you? I like it here. But your visit is making me consider moving soon. It's not advised to stay in one place for too long anyway. Eventually, the past will catch up to you. I figured. What brings you here, really? Quasar? Quasar? Well, you know, this and that. Quasar! Human, 58E Human Paladin. Paladin. Sorry, I was looking at the word Majocracy. Paladin, Majocracy. Chaotic Evil, Arcana, the Devil, of course. Quasar Duskbringer. Jesus. What do you call? What a clearly bad guy name. Oh, you know, this and that. I paid Marrow Castle a visit.
It's quite serene this time of year. What for? Sightseeing, trespassing. You broke in? I wouldn't phrase it like that. Burglary is incredibly impolite. I was persistent in my approach. Politely, I knocked on that door. Unfortunately, vampires these days have no hospitality. The lady of the house greeted me with a snarl and slammed the door in my face.
Oh, that's weird. No, for some reason. So I was looking at his ears, right? And I thought, I didn't notice that there's just a chunk taken off of his right ear, or that ear. His right, my left. And I thought for some reason he had one human ear and one elven ear. I was like, what? Never seen that before. You never seen an a half elf who has one human ear and one elven ear. That'd be weird.
The lady of the house greeted me with a snarl and slammed the door in my face. Not like that stopped me, but I found it quite rude.
So you did break in?
Obviously, as a last resort. There was something I needed more than manners. As expected, she wouldn't give up her precious relic freely.
So you killed her?
I would have, but no, that rat escaped. In the blink of an eye, she dissolved into mist. I always considered that to be a vampire's most annoying skill. But at least I got what I wanted.
And what would that be?
Curious as ever, aren't you?
That's why I made it my job.
What? Being nosy?
Something like that. I get to hear a lot of things every day. People like to talk.
You manipulate your patrons into telling you their darkest secrets.
I don't manipulate, I listen. Exactly, you know me too well. I listen. I'm all ears. What would Lady Evelyn have that you, Quasar Duskbringer, would want?
Just a little blood. Ingredients for the execution of a grand design.
Grand design. We were never once to make big plans.
Speak for yourself.
Maybe times changed you. Oddly enough, you still look the same.
I had to make sure you recognize me after all.
How could I ever forget you?
It seems like it was pretty easy for you to move on.
It wasn't.
Yet you're hiding. You ran away from everything that once mattered to build a life behind a counter in a shabby tavern.
Is that why you're here? To throw your accusations around?
No. I guess I just wanted to have one last chat, now that everything's coming to an end. And I'm curious about how this old friend of mine is doing. So how are you doing, friend?
I'm full of hope for a better tomorrow. I'm worried the world we know will end. I know they'll stop you. Fuck you, whoever you are.
Me too. I'm just afraid that we're hoping for different dawns.
We might be. How are you doing?
Do you even want to know?
It's my job. My tavern is open to everyone.
Your protective spells beg to differ.
They let you through, didn't they? So, how about a drink? Then you tell me whatever it is you need to get off your chest.
Sure. Let's see if you still know me well enough. And if you remember what I taught you.
Of course I do. What do you even want, dog? Oh. Charisma, what's wrong, Ondu? You good? I can't pet him. Alright, I guess you want charisma then. What would be a fitting charisma drink for you? Not a sunny breeze, that's for sure. Spoken hard. I'll make you a fancy one. 1,000 wins. It'd be funny if I debuff him somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. Maybe this one. Give me about 2 of that. And then 2 of this. There we go. 1,000 wins. He doesn't have the sign up, so but I'm pretty sure that's it. That it?
What the fuck is this drink?
How about this? Sweet and chatty.
Not bad. Almost tastes like back in the day.
Did you think I'd forget?
Yes. I assumed you're as good as abandoning memories as you are at abandoning people.
Ouch.
Seems like people are right about one thing, though.
That would be?
Your drinks can influence fate. They can't save people, but they can push them in a direction. Alter their destiny.
I wouldn't go that far. Simply do my best to support my patrons in their endeavors.
Will you support my endeavors?
As I said, I serve everyone in this tavern.
How noble. How awfully morally gray. How opportunistic. It's like nothing's changed.
I like it that way.
Making decisions for people. Leading them to their doom. All because you can't help but wonder what a little entropy would do.
I help.
You help.
Sure.
You always liked to help when it was most convenient for you. When it got people to love you. I hope all your helping has aided you in forgetting them.
I didn't forget them.
Oh, is that so? I couldn't sleep for months. My heart bled and bled until there was nothing left to bleed. I was alone. And by the end of it, when nothing was left, there was only one question. How could the one person I trusted with my life turn on me like that? How dare he leave me with nothing but the stars, staring at them alone? Wondering whether the blood would ever wash off. And how by the dragons and their false light. Is all you've done with your freedom, this dastardly achieved freedom, this. There's still blood on your hands. It took me way too long to realize that I didn't have to give up, that I'm not like you, that it doesn't have to be their blood that sticks to my hands. They're gone. Not for much longer. Soon the star rain and the flood that washed away our yesterday will open the gates to a new tomorrow. A new horizon, unhaunted by still ghosts. Quasar. Innkeeper.
Why would you do something like this?
Don't we owe it to them? The you I knew would have agreed.
The me you knew was foolish. Some situations are hopeless. Some decisions aren't easy.
Decisions are quite easy if you set your mind to it. Say I need to tear apart Cassiopeia's wings for the stars to rain upon Gaia.
An ambitious task.
I could decide not to and abandon my plans, because I'm intimidated by the complexity, or scared of the consequences. But no, instead I choose to stick with it and get what I want. I don't give up. I succeed. It truly is that simple. If you care, you'll get it done, no matter how much effort it may take. Everyone was dead. I wasn't. Didn't we promise to always stand by each other's side? To never be alone again? We did. Didn't they deserve the same? They did. Then why are you here, and they aren't?
I don't know.
Me neither. What did we mean to you? Nothing. We meant nothing to you. The home we built, it meant so little. It's not true. Do you still ponder about the meaning of life? Watching the stars? No. There aren't anymore. There aren't any anymore. It's better that way. It means that there's no risk of getting caught up in trivial things. Like getting caught up in the thought of a world without pain. Like that. So naive. So stupid.
It meant everything to me. It was bound to break. It meant everything to me.
Don't lie to me. I've seen through the charade. Your tricks don't work on me anymore. Look at the stars now as they lie at your feet. A declaration of your failure. An elegy to your cowardice. And a demonstration of my endurance. Everything is set. Everyone will get what they deserve. Even your little replacements. Soon there'll be no more but a fading memory on the horizon. Feels familiar, doesn't it?
They're alive. They can be saved.
They are alive indeed. What you should ask yourself is, for how much longer? And if the time comes, will you run away again?
No.
But you sent them to their deaths, did you not?
I sent them to stop you.
I'm aware. Which reminds me, I'll have to leave soon before your little pawns interfere with my threads of fate. Gertrude, come on. It's time to go home.
Oh, is it the bird? Yeah, it's the bird. Ah, so that's who you've been. Gertrude, huh? Interesting. Have you been keeping tabs on me with that bird? I think so. Interesting. Care to explain?
I sent a little companion so you wouldn't be so alone. And I need her back now.
You know I value my privacy.
And I value the perfect execution for my plans. So thank you for collecting so much information for me.
You don't have to do this.
I don't, but I will. Anyway, I've got somewhere to be. Speaking of which, my invitation, the offer still stands. Join me and watch as I repair what you destroyed 30 years ago. Join me to witness the renaissance of times past.
I can't. My place is here.
What a pity. It almost pains me to see you haven't changed one bit.
I moved on. You should try it sometime.
Spoken like a true coward. It's not like I need you anyway. Not anymore. See you soon, old friend.
Or not. Quasar. I wish you wouldn't have come. Okay. That's the only information we get. Well, I mean, we could glean what is between them. Used to be maybe family or... As in, like, you know, like they made a pact together. Along with other people, they ended up dying. He resents him for that. The Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Now, this would be a good time for us to end tonight's stream. So, hey Melly! I'm gonna save right there. Save. That's gonna be it for tonight. That was Tavern Talk. Hawaii 5-0, what? Why am I humming that? Let's see who we have available for us to raid tonight. Let us raid Cyber the Wolf. Is still on? Yeah. Actually, let me just make sure that they're still on and not about to end tonight's stream. They are still going. Good. Cyber the Wolf. There we go. Raid message for those who are not subbed. Raid message for those who are. Next time I'm going to be streaming is going to be... Saturday and Sunday is going to be pending because I'm not sure that I'm going to be available on those days. But if I am available somehow, it's going to be Shin Megami Tensei 5 on Saturday and maybe finishing Ghost Trick on Sunday if I'm available. If I'm not available, then ignore what I just said. Tuesday for more James Bond, and then Thursday for more Tavern Talk, which I think we're nearing the end of this game as well. I mean, clearly, we've already met the bad guy, so it's about to come to a head. But thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope you have yourselves a wonderful rest of your time zone. And with that being said,
We hope your shopping experience has been wonderful, and remember that you're always good to go when you shop at Cujo's.
good night.